It is the Riot.
I just found out, so if you were listening to our previous podcast, we forgot to record an intro for it. So Hudson did it.
Absolutely, we did.
I think that's awesome. Hey, it was your birthday celebration. We were leaving.
Nikki and I were just like, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya.
So if you missed on Friday, we did a Riot Skips Work where we did a birthday breakfast for Obi, which you can watch the entire Skips Work at RadioU Riot on Facebook or RadioU Riot on our YouTube channel. Make sure you follow and get notifications and subscribe to both channels, but apparently we just left and we went to go breakfast. So sorry for that, but thank you, Hudson, for doing that for our previous podcast.
Nikki, we had
things to do. And now we're back to normal podcasts.
Places to go, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah. Let's see. What is in today's podcast? We've got a little talk about birthdays. We'll talk about Downton Abbey.
We go over the box office from the weekend.
We do. WWE superstars in Canada, birthday presents, Batman Day.
Sorry. That's how you know they're not Canadian. She was not sorry.
If she'd been Canadian, she'd have been very sorry.
Very apologetic.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else we got. Borderlands 3 talk, the game that Nikki wishes that she was playing.
The Goose Game and Colonel Sanders.
Oh, that's right.
The dating simulator.
And talk about how we can take cinnamon and sugar to the top.
My puppies?
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Or take them somewhere else, according to you.
You know what, Nikki? I'm just here I'm just here to help.
You're just here to provide a terrible option.
I'm just here to help.
So don't forget to check out more from us through riot.radiou.com, including, like I mentioned, our last Skips Work. And then tomorrow we should have in the podcast Sherrod White. We'll have a chance to introduce you to him. He's a hip hop artist we've played on Radio U for quite some time, but I don't think we've had him on for this show. So you'll hear him tomorrow.
All right. Anything?
Enjoy the rest of the day.
All right. High
Let's
fives
go get breakfast.
To y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So, birthday weekend for me, did not go to the movies, even though I had given some real strong consideration to doing so.
There was Rambo, there was Ad Astra, there was the other one, the one I should remember. What's the one? Downton Abbey. That's it.
That was the big one, Nikki.
That was the number one over the weekend.
Well, I was just going to say, do you know which one was the winner over the weekend?
Of course it was Downton Abbey.
Of course
I wouldn't
it was.
doubt Downton.
It's Downton, Nikki.
Okay.
But you're right. I am a little surprised that it won. I shouldn't be, because in a lot of ways, Downton Abbey, to me, represents what is a... let's just say there's a strong contingent of ladies out there that I can already hear them talking. We always have to watch his movies.
Oh, you think
it's always
so?
Yeah.
No, I just think, you had Rambo. That is its own argument. Like, people don't want to see it. And then the only other one was Brad Pitt's space movie. Yeah. Brad Pitt hasn't been in a lot in a while.
That's true.
Wasn't he in the one with
the people?
Well, no, Leonardo DiCaprio. Was that him?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah,
he was in that. So I guess he's been in stuff, but you add space to it. It's just suddenly...
Not as interesting?
Not as interesting.
No. I just feel like Downton Abbey was that it was unoffensive enough to be
anyone would be in there.
Like we could probably, any of us, go see Downton Abbey and be like, all right, whatever. But man, I saw so many scathing editorials about Rambo over the weekend that I was just like, did everybody... Was there like
what were you expecting?
Was there a planning session like where everybody decided about how bad it was going to be? It's like, yeah, it's Rambo. What did you think?
Well, it came in at 3.
It did.
Rambo at least cracked the top 3.
I can honestly say, though, I'm surprised by how I think poorly Ad Astra did, because that movie to me looks expensive.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure what its budget was.
I have no idea, but it just looked like an expensive movie to me. And their third trailer I watched, and if you watch the third trailer, they start hinting at a very different movie than the one that I feel like they started showing you. So it actually became more interesting to me, but I didn't see it. But yeah, there you go. Downton Abbey, $31 million over the weekend. I think it cost about $10,000 to make.
Yeah, I'm probably a little bit more than that. Ad Astra did almost 20 million, and then Rambo did a little over 19 million.
Yeah, now Rambo's budget was 50 million. That's the only one that I'm seeing a budget number for.
And that seems too much, doesn't it? It does seem like we've overspent.
That seems about right. Oh, here we go. AJ, what about a Downton Abbey Rambo drive-in 2-for-1?
That would be quite a weekend or a night, wouldn't it?
You'd have to put Rambo second because your girlfriend's sleeping through that.
Yeah, you'd have to. Well, you want to start off nicer and then move into Rambo.
We've all been there. We're like, yeah, let's get 2 movies, and your movie's second, and she's not staying up for that.
See, that's why I wish movie theaters actually did some more fun things like that. But, studios would never want that. They would never encourage that. I
do love the idea of a guy walking in as Rambo and the girl walking in as whatever. Or, I guess the guy walking in as a prim and proper gentleman, or the girl walking in with like a bandolier of bullets?
A round. That could also be something.
I don't know. When you dress up as old Rambo, what do you wear? You know what? I don't know, and I can't find out because I didn't go.
I don't want to watch new Rambo to be able to tell.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
AJ is texting this morning. He wants to know if I got his birthday present, which he should me.
What's in there?
Well, I'm opening the thing here, and it says, the return address says the best gift ever, South San Francisco, California.
And this is Aaron.
Oh, it wasn't AJ. Sorry, Aaron. You know what? You're right. I'm sorry.
AJ texted right after, so it looked like it.
Okay, so there is a golden box.
Ooh.
It's shiny.
Okay.
And it says, you'll never guess what's inside.
And it's perishable, so it's...
Yeah, he said that actually sent me upstairs looking for it because I was like, well, we better...
I think they put it upstairs.
Okay.
What is in there?
Yes, someone... It's a birthday...
Oh, Aaron, you're so sweet.
Potato.
It's a birthday potato.
And on it says, "Happy birthday, you delicate genius,
Aww,
Aaron."
Thanks for the birthday. Is it a real potato?
Oh yeah,
real potato. Anything else underneath? Any of the other packaging? Oh, your face is on it. Oh, that's really cute.
On the potato.
I didn't notice that until then.
Aaron and I appreciate the phrase "delicate genius."
Yes, I love that.
That's really funny.
You have a birthday potato.
It also came with some Sour Patch Kids, some Twizzlers,
little
and some
candy
Sweet
pack.
Tarts. Mm-hmm, yep. And, hello, of course, a sticker.
Well, you can put that on your new
that
laptop
they really
case.
hope goes on my laptop. Mm-hmm. And let's see, potato parcel. Spread the love of sending a potato with I have a 15% discount
So
code.
it's not like Aaron sent that. You ordered it through a company who sends potatoes to people for their birthday.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is fascinating. Once this potato reaches the end of its life, we think, let's see, where did it say?
Are you supposed to plant it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he sent me a potato.
Where are you going to plant your potato?
Well, you know what? I'm going to plant it back behind the radio station.
Oh, you are, so we can enjoy it every day.
Every day.
Aww.
Every day. Dude.
Be like, what is that? Is that a potato plant?
That is the weirdest
very
thing.
Sweet, Aaron. No one tell Aaron when my birthday is. I don't need a potato. Just keep it from him.
Nikki, don't worry.
No.
We'll tell
Do I see a birthday potato in my future?
I'm sure that there's a birthday potato waiting for you. And I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to have to eat those Sour Patch Kids. Yeah.
Well, it was Obi's birthday on Saturday, if you guys missed out on it. And he got a birthday potato.
Hey, you know what? It's just what I always wanted, but was afraid to ask.
It's what you never knew that you needed,
but
you
now
always
that I have
wanted.
it, I couldn't live without it.
Now you absolutely have it. I'm so jealous.
I have a Nikki, I'll share it with you. It can be our potato.
Can we help plant it in the back?
If I plant it, there will be potatoes for all of us.
True.
Right?
Let's get one of those big buckets you put when you put it inside. What's that called?
I think it's called a bucket.
A bucket.
If it's louder than it has to be and way worse than it has any right to be, it must be the worst of the riot on Radio U.
You know, we've reached a point in our journey as technological peoples that the DVR seems outdated. You mean I have to have this device in my house that's going to do recording? I want a cloud to record everything
all
for me.
My recordings are done in the cloud, and I can't delete them if I wanted to. And they're available for one whole year, which I think is just so much.
YouTube TV, it's true. They're like, no, you can't. You're not deleting this.
Like, I'd like to delete it. I want to save some space for you guys. And no.
We save it forever. We save
1 year.
everything forever.
They save it for 1 year.
Okay, but back in the day, the DVR was brand new, and you couldn't get it. And there was one brand that was out there that I feel like has disappeared into complete obscurity, but they were the thing.
They're still trucking along, though.
And they were TiVo. TiVo didn't invent the DVR. I think their slogan might have been, we didn't invent it, but we made it better.
Yeah.
So it was like cable companies had their DVRs, which is what most people have. But TiVo was like this branded DVR that you bought the TiVo. It was $100 or $200. And then you had to pay what? $10, $12, $15 a month for the service. It was not inexpensive.
But it was right at the start of like cutting cable and different ways to not have cable, but still record your shows.
So the real hotness about TiVo was this. You could, record almost anything. And then when you watched it, you could fast forward through the commercials.
Whee!
Skip the commercials.
Remember the little bloop bloop noise he used to make too?
Wow, so neat. Well, then, TiVo now has their brand new TiVo. Like, brand new, like, wait till you guys get yourself this new TiVo. But here's a little something that they have announced that maybe kind of quietly that people now know is that if you sit down and watch something on your TiVo.
Yeah.
So let's say you recorded a football game on Saturday because you couldn't get there, whatever. You come home and you're like, this football game only takes 90 minutes because I skipped the commercials. Wrong, because now there are ads, unskippable pre-roll ads
On theirs?
on your recordings.
So wait, what? I mean, that was supposed to be the allure of like a TiVo.
I get it. I get that for a lot of us are like, yeah, who cares, whatever. No, I'm blown away. The whole point of the TiVo's existence was, hey, you're going to skip commercials. And they're like, yeah, except for the commercials we play for you at the beginning.
So does that mean you don't have to pay for the service then anymore? Well, it should be right if they're having commercials.
You know, you're a sweet kid.
I know I'm wrong on it, but I mean, we should be right.
You really, really are. But I'll have to tell you right now, if you're telling me now, like, hey, pay to skip commercials, except the ones we don't let you skip, we're done. I'm done. I might as well just go ahead and record in the cloud.
Where you're happier anyway.
Which I don't know what, after the cloud recording, I don't know where we go from there. But
well, we'll figure out something else.
Something.
We're just going to not watch anything.
Yes, come on.
That's the very last straw right there.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's The Riot on Radio U.
I'm always excited to see what the new made-up word is. Well, and it's, kind of a conjunction. We take an existing word and we create a new one with our new word. And I'm always excited to learn every single day what's the new word that the internet has made up for me. And here we go. The Vapocalypse.
See, ding! You didn't know that one was a word, did you?
I didn't.
It's a vaping apocalypse.
So the Vapocalypse is an e-liquid buying panic. They say that is set in as federal e-cigarette bans loom in wake of 8 vaping-related deaths across the U.S.
The only thing I could think is it reminds me of, wasn't there like a year or two or a few years ago with ammunition?
Buy as much guns and ammunition as you can?
It was basically like bullets. And I remember I was driving past like a Cabela's or something like that. I was like, why? What are we doing? What's going on? And it was they're taking things away. And so people just go out and buy everything in case something happens.
Yes, it was. I want to say it was like a Hillary sale. They were like, Hillary's going to get elected. She's taking our guns.
Something like that.
It was.
So this is basically the vaping equivalent of it.
Of that. And what ends up happening, it seems like nothing. Like, I see a lot
I don't think the vaping community, or, like the companies are like, no, please don't go out and stockpile.
Well, I can tell you, I don't know what the gun companies were like, but I can tell you that the ammo sellers were like, yep, they're coming for your guns.
Come out
they're
and
coming
buy
to
it.
take them. You probably better get in here and buy up all this ammo. They're going to screw you over. Please come in. Yes.
So people are worried about a federal e-cigarette ban on the flavored e-liquid stuff. So they want to possibly ban in some states or cause problems. So that's why people are going out and buying a lot.
Keep it 100 crunchy squares. I'm looking at the vaping
Keep it 100
stuff.
Yes. KB?
Doesn't, well, never mind. Yeah, so it looks like they're doing a big thing on it. Like, I don't know. Like, do you think they'll end up banning it? No, they'll just regulate it and tax it.
I think that's exactly what you're looking at.
Like that's what it is. And
So on Friday, I don't know if you mentioned this part, but U.S. senators urged the FDA to immediately remove all pod and cartridge-based e-cigarettes from the market. That's already, they've already enacted bans in Michigan and New York for basically the flavored stuff.
yeah, I've got a couple of friends that are vapors. It was interesting talking to them over the weekend that among the vaping community, what I can tell is their big run is like, hey, you know what? If we had money like the NRA, they'd keep us from getting banned. So like,
They wish they had a group protecting them.
Right. So there's a strong equivalency in their minds between like the gun lobby, but there's no vaping lobby. And they say that big tobacco is wanting to force out vaping because they say it's leading to lower
People
sales of tobacco.
Leaving actually smoking cigarettes.
Which I can see that because then again, the low-hanging fruit Twitter joke has been, man, that vaping's bad for you. I've had to start smoking. So I've seen that joke more than a couple of times. But I don't know. It's interesting to sit back and watch. It's hard to even really like looking at it all. I kind of feel like it's probably all true. Big tobacco probably does hate it. These probably are cheap cartridges.
They're probably capitalizing on it.
But at the same time, there's this, and the same time, there's that.
And there could be some more regulation because they say a lot of the deaths or the problems of people getting sick has been from not second or third or fourth or fifth party on like market ones.
Right.
They're not the regulated ones.
But as for me, I look down on everyone who's addicted to something. I said, as I drank from my coffee.
No problem here.
As I reached for my Diet Dr. Pepper. I don't have a problem. I can quit anytime.
Listen, no one wants to peel back that onion for each person. We all have our things.
I somehow think that none of us have room to really look down on anybody. He said as he sipped his coffee.
Which he needed.
And it's good.
To live.
The Riot. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No?
Radio U.
It's finally happening. This is it. I'm finally going to be able to see the NFL the way I've always wanted to see the NFL.
How is that going to be?
In 4K.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. So starting this Thursday night, the NFL's Thursday night football.
Will be 4K football?
Yeah, but okay. Asterisk.
Yeah.
Here we go.
How do you have to watch it in order to get it in 4K?
You ready for all of the details? You got to watch it on Fox Sports on their streaming app. And you must have either a Roku 4K, which you do, Nikki.
I do have that. And you have to have, obviously, the 4K TV.
And you have to
have
have Apple TV.
And you've got that.
Mm-hmm. So you can watch on Roku Premiere, Premiere Plus, the Roku Streaming Stick Plus, Roku Ultra, a 4K TV with Roku OS built in, or that. And
now,
then,
if they don't spell it out, then you'll be sitting there going, I think it looks different. I'm not sure.
Is it?
Is it in 4K? It's not.
You know what? Truth be told, I'm probably interested enough to, if I can remember, to check it out on Thursday night just to see what does a 4K sports broadcast look like.
Sporting events is the way they usually test that out, and that's usually how it develops first.
So the Women's World Cup was also in 4K, and just like the NFL, I forgot to check it out. So,
well, here's hoping for this Thursday too.
I don't have
Set a reminder.
I don't have any doubt that I had really strong intentions and desires and wanted to be there for it, but probably, well, no, I did forget. and I feel it highly likely that I will also forget.
This Thursday?
This Thursday
So what
night.
game is it again?
Mm-hmm.
Did it not put that in there?
I don't know.
It didn't say which game?
It's Thursday night.
For Thursday Night Football?
No, because, I mean, the announcement is that it's going to be, on all the Thursday nights.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't say
All right, well, just be surprised.
Fox Sports and Fox Now streaming apps. That's all I got. It doesn't say.
That's all we need.
That's
all we need.
So who's, and that's the start of I believe this Thursday is the kickoff of the actual NFL season. So the fact that they've been playing games since the middle of June,
that doesn't
that's
count.
Been all preseason.
That is not anything to do with the start of it.
It's all preseason.
So if you're interested in 4K stuff, that should be Thursday on Fox Sports.
Yeah.
With a 4K TV, if you have the 4K Roku or Apple TV, while using the apps.
And then, of course, I believe you also have to have cable
Well,
because that's what you need to, after a while, is it worth it? No, probably. Maybe it was. Maybe it is.
We don't have to. We're not here to talk about that part.
I don't have the answer, okay? I don't.
The Riot has now been downloaded. Hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Have you ever thought about traveling to Canada?
It's lovely.
It's fascinating if you do that because you can't, as an American citizen, you can't just go into Canada like you used to. You have to have a passport. And so
Oh, you need the Canada, or can't you just use the card?
You can get the card passport.
Sure.
But that's still a passport. They offer a passport that's a little less expensive and a little faster to get that looks like a driver's license.
It's like a light version.
Yeah. And so that gives you the ability to travel back and forth to Canada and Mexico. So that's an option. Or you can use a full-fledged passport to make that trip. And you'll see that there are exceptions for a few different kinds of jobs as you are crossing the Canadian border. And do you know what one of the job exceptions is?
What is it?
WWE superstar.
They don't need what? They don't have to have a passport?
They don't have to have a work permit.
Ah.
If you go into Canada,
well, probably because like certain teams are still in the same league.
You have to have a work permit for some stuff. And I found this out because I DJ'd a wedding in Canada, and I told them, I read all on it and everything, and they're like, hey, are you coming into Canada to work? And I was like, well, kind of. I'm DJing a wedding, and they're like, you have to go over here. So I had to wait in line forever, get like grilled at the border. And
should have just said you were a WWE DJ.
Yeah. Well, I told them, I was like, guys, you know that you have an exception written right into your own rules for people performing services at weddings. And they're like, no, we don't. And I was like, I actually told the lady, I was like,
yes, you do.
Right now, this is the web address. Go look up. You'll see right there that you have exceptions for. And there are like a few things. And I was like, wedding DJs. And I was like, oddly enough, WWE superstars.
It's in there too.
It was like she just did not believe me, but she left and went to look it up, I assume, and then eventually came back and just let me go.
Yeah.
It was like, whatever. But the reason they added that exception was a few years ago, and I don't know how long ago it was, but they did WrestleMania in Canada. So in order to get all of that stuff across, they added this exception for that.
And it just has always still stayed there?
Still there, Nikki. And so great. Over the weekend, apparently Lacey Evans, who's a superstar, she got an opportunity to be involved in that, right?
Oh, did she?
She did.
So was the problem that she did not have I caught that she got
pulled over for speeding.
And then she made a ruckus about it.
No, she just straight up, that entire thing is that she's mad that she got pulled over for speeding. And there is video of her talking to the guy, and she's just like, do you know who I am? You nasty thing. She calls him a nasty thing. I'll pay it. A nasty thing.
Well, how she said it, though, was like I don't know. It seemed like a Southern thing to me.
It did, didn't it?
And I don't know how else to explain it, but she just had that sort of sound with it. And that was like an insult. That was like as far with the insult that she would go with as a Southern lady.
It's so funny She says, and I quote, "You have a terrible day, sir. Canada is terrible."
That's what everybody was laughing at the most, because she just says at the end, like, Canada's terrible.
And that's her tweet. Number 1, Canada is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, you know exactly who I am. And number 3, you will be speaking to my lawyer.
Why does she think people know who she is?
Let me tell you something, Lacey. Is it Lacey? Yes, Lacey, you could walk in here in the tights and the whole thing, and
Still wouldn't know.
I would have no idea who you are.
We wouldn't even know it was wrestling still, even if you had the whole wrestling outfit on.
Well, yeah, at some point you might assume. I would be like, you are either employed in certain, obvious. There are a few things that you probably are. I'm not sure which one it is, but yeah, I wouldn't know. So
she was trending because of the bad attitude that she had about it towards Canada.
The idea that some Canadian cop is just going to be like, "Oh, I'm very sorry."
Well, of course I know who you are.
He doesn't know who you are. Come on. I want to live in a world where I just assume everybody knows who I am. And I don't get tickets.
And you didn't need a work permit to get in there in the first place.
Instead, I got
You just go on in.
Did I tweet about how terrible Canada was? No. I sat there
while you sat on the border for them to decide how they should let you in.
Yeah.
Instead, you taught them while you were there.
I did. I was like, if you
about their own laws,
you would read your own material. Same thing happened to me in New York City, but that's a story for another time.
A Rotten Tomatoes score so high, they refuse to make it public. The Riot on Radio U.
Dude, this is so great. There was a woman in California named Darren. She's 29, and she's in Bakersfield. And police noticed over the weekend that she was having a really hard time with her baby stroller. She was like, what? So you know what they did? They stopped to help her.
Just a little check, they said, a little welfare check.
Like, hey, are you okay? Like, what's going on? What's going on?
And there's no baby.
Turns out there wasn't a baby in there.
I just think it's odd, but basically it was full of bags of coins.
Yep.
And we're not like, like a Ziploc baggie. No,
No.
A lot of coins.
They're saying $6,000 worth of coins. And I don't mean collector's coins.
Just coins.
I'm talking like bags of coins.
So it seemed like she had noticed or found out that someone living nearby had all these coins in their house. And so she basically robbed the house of it and was trying to get away with them.
Right. And can I say, using a baby stroller is a great idea because a woman out pushing a stroller.
You're not going to really question that, which made me wonder how off-looking was she acting and behaving for them to do a check on it.
Something must have really been off.
Pretty much.
Because, man, I've seen some strange people pushing strollers.
And you're not supposed to say anything.
But you're like, no, it's fine.
So what was she doing?
It's fine. No big deal. And see what a terrible person I am that I just said I saw a strange person. They're just a person.
Just a person, not strange.
Something about
their
this seems
behavior
off.
might be concerning.
Okay, you know what, Nikki? I've seen concerning behavior around strollers before.
I mean, unless
but not enough to call the police.
Was there a hole in one of the bags and like there's a line of coins following her? Like, how else would you notice something's off?
Yes,
I think that'd be amazing. Like,
yes,
we followed the breadcrumbs right to you, ma'am.
It was just I don't know if you know this, but you've been leaving a steady stream of quarters.
You're leaking.
So,
all this money.
I assume your baby must be throwing a quarter every so often, hoping that someone will come and rescue it.
And you have about $6,000 more of coins that you can keep throwing.
Man, 6,000 in coins, that's a
nice.
Bunch.
But you're right, that is a lot. That's way more than I think we'd ever recognize, which is probably why she was struggling.
That's 24,000 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of quarters. Yeah. So if you think about how heavy, have you ever done the roll of quarters? So think about how heavy one roll of quarters would be. That's $10 in quarters. But you're trying to push a stroller that contains 2,400 of those. That's a lot of quarters.
It is, as I push it all the way to the coin machine. Because I'm going to that.
Yeah, you're going to be
doing... And you need to do it in shifts. Otherwise, they'll start wondering what you've done.
Not all at once. Like, eventually that's going to get flagged. So I'd be careful with that one right there.
Yeah, Sarah texted, said, can you imagine what it would look like? She's pushing a stroller that weighs 300 pounds. That would be weird.
Yeah.
But we're not supposed to...
You're not supposed to judge.
To judge or question, like, what is 300 pounds?
It's fine.
You're not supposed to say anything.
If your baby weighs 300 pounds, it's perfectly normal because there is no normal.
Or even if it's a grown-up pretending to be a big baby. Like,
Sure.
you can't say anything.
That's okay, too. And you know what, Nikki, pretending I don't think is a good word either.
You're right. Oh, yeah, I don't even know what to say then.
That's because you're not allowed to say anything.
Not to say anything at all.
Yeah.
So the cops got the coins back.
They did. By judging.
By pulling her over.
They judged her.
I think
Don't they
knew,
know who she is?
No, I think they knew what they were looking for. They could tell.
They probably did.
Can we have a few bags of coins? I'll take some quarters.
Apparently they have a lot.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You know what? I've spent a lot of years of my life trying to, quote-unquote, get it right. And it's funny, I know a lot of really great people that have also spent a lot of years trying to get it right. Again, quote unquote, right. And, you know, we can spend all day talking about what does that mean? What does it look like? Whatever. But a lot of people, this is what they taught me about God. That God expected perfection. And if I wasn't perfect, then I was the worst.
And it was marked down.
Oh,
forever
yeah, it was
recorded in history.
And I was going to be drug out in front of everyone where they were going to show everything I'd ever done, period. And I mean, like, dude, I'll tell you what, I lived with so many years of like shame, condemnation, just feeling absolutely terrible about myself and on and on and on. Like for probably the majority of my life lived with that. And then one day somebody introduced me to something really awesome. And that is the fact that, you know, with what Jesus did for us. And I mean, maybe you don't know that, and you should learn more about it. I don't have time to get into all of it. But, you know, when Jesus died for you and for me, and the way he paid the price for me, that I'm good. I can relax. That Jesus, when God forgives you, he completely forgives you. He does not forgive you, but reserve the chance to really give you a stern lecture and make you feel terrible for days and days and days. Like, no, like Jesus did everything for you. And so you are forgiven. So I don't have to wake up and feel ashamed. I mean, I don't have to be proud of all the wrong things I did. I don't think that's what we're talking about here. But I also don't have to walk around under this huge cloud of guilt and shame. And eventually, maybe I can. No, look, when God forgives you, he forgives you right now. So if this morning you woke up and, even if it's as simple as remembering that one time in that one place you did blank, I want you to know that God completely forgives you for whatever it is. And if you don't have a relationship with him, if you haven't accepted that forgiveness, what a waste of time to walk around feeling guilty or feeling bad. Right now, just say, Jesus, I need that. I need you in my life. I need you to forgive me. I need you to fill me with your spirit. I don't want to live one more day feeling bad about what I've done, but I want to just rest in what you did for me. Man, it's that easy to start a relationship with God. And I want you today to walk around with your head held high because you're loved, you're forgiven. And listen, that other stuff, forget about it. It's time to move on.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on RadioU.
So over the weekend, it was my birthday. My family, friends got me tickets to
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Which is, they're on their, I think it's called the Great Cheesy Movie Circus Tour or something like that.
Is it like in 2 weeks you go? Or?
Yep, 2 weeks. It's actually right in the middle of our fall fundraiser. I'll take a little break.
Yay, you'll have fun.
Have some craziness.
You'll be very well rested from it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yay.
I'm very, reviews for it have just been wonderful. I'm really excited about it.
It's so tiring during our fundraisers at that point you're just like, oh man.
I almost didn't do it. And I was like, you know what? I will so regret not going and doing this thing. So
that one's worth it.
Yeah, it'll totally be worth the lost sleep and all that kind of stuff. So doing that. But there were two other things I did in the middle of it. I got myself, and it's arriving today, an electric tea kettle.
You did?
I'm so excited about it.
So what does that mean? Just like the water one?
It's basically what we have in the break room right now. So I can boil water, which I don't do a lot of tea, but I definitely do a French press coffee.
Did you get the Amazon Basics one?
No.
There is one.
Is there?
There's totally one.
No, mine is I don't know. I think it's the same brand that we have in there. Hamilton Beach. Is that, oh no. Are you going to tell me like Hamilton Beach is trash?
I'm the one who bought that one.
I know, but did you buy trash for the break room?
No, not at all. I bought that because that's the one I have at home. I only got it because it lights up blue.
I know, the blue light.
That's the whole reason. So it boils the water. That's all we're asking for.
So there's that. And then there was one other thing in this mix. Like, I've got, my mom actually gave me money, which was great. Thanks, Mom. And I was thinking yesterday about buying, and I'm not saying I'm going to, but I was thinking about it.
What are you thinking about buying?
You know them fancy chairs that people get for their desks that look like the
gaming ones?
Yeah.
You want a gaming chair?
I thought about it. I don't like the fact that it looks like a race car chair because it's like, oh,
I was thinking it more looks like an enterprise chair.
Okay,
the very
fair.
tall, thin back to it.
But I've sat in a couple and been like, wait a minute. Why is this so comfortable? It's very comfortable.
I saw one people were rolling around at Costco. Like they have a gaming one.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's just in the middle of an aisleway. Like they're just people rolling on it.
Right.
So maybe they have something else.
Let's see. Gaming chair.
If not, I saw a couple on the local auction site.
You know what, Nikki, you're right.
There's some returns there.
Right there. Costco has got a Respawn gaming chair. Do we have to give it a name like that?
Yes, you do.
Do we have to?
You do. It's extreme.
A race car style gaming chair.
It's exactly what they think you want.
Mm-hmm. Bonded leather, fully adjustable armrest, infinite angle lock reclining, a 275-pound weight capacity. So, I mean, it's
perfect.
It's everything I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
So, all right.
It's an option for you.
Well, the thing that's nice about that is, like, at least I could go and try it out. And if I don't like it,
you can return it without the
Costco.
guilt.
You can take it back, and it's like, here, whatever.
Well, if anybody enjoys a gaming chair, just send him the link or let him know what type it is.
I'm actually curious if, one, you think it's worth the money, and two, if you have one that you like. Because I sat in a couple, and I was like, these are actually really comfortable. And a lot of people use them for, and I know this will be shocking, but just as a work, like, desk chair.
Oh, instead of gaming.
Right. So, I do.
Will this be at your work desk or your gaming one?
Nikki.
Or do you do work at the gaming one?
I do work at that one.
Okay.
So, I mean, let's stop drawing lines.
Well, then why isn't, you should probably process that as a work expense.
Oh, yeah. It's totally tax deductible. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, maybe I should put in a request that, maybe that's a station purchase.
Is it? I don't know
Here,
about that.
I'm turning in my receipt for a reimbursement. I'm sure I'll use it for work.
You don't need to say it's a gaming chair for that. You just say a desk chair.
I got a desk chair.
And they don't need to know that it's a gaming version.
Nobody needs to know, and don't play this part for them.
I think that could be a good investment.
Let's not say investment.
It is. You'll be able to resell it when you've broken it down enough years later. When you desperately need a new one.
That's fair.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So I know that it's probably still fresh in your mind. Maybe you don't want to talk about it. Maybe you do, but I got to ask. How did everybody celebrate Batman Day over the weekend?
Oh, that was on Saturday.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't see anything on the actual day. I just said everything, leading up to it.
That just goes to show you that you and I hang out in different parts
circles.
of the internet.
Is that it?
I'll tell you exactly what I did. I celebrated Batman Day, which was also my birthday, by being me. No. I had gone to the library on Friday, picked up some Batman graphic novels. So
yeah, you did.
Saturday, I spent some time
reading
Batman and drinking some coffee.
Was there any sort of deals on hey,
okay,
here's a free bat-shaped pizza or
I did
something
and that's
along
a
those
great
lines?
idea. No, I didn't see that, but I did see. Oh my gosh, this was the worst. So Batman has come out the 1990s Batmans. So it's Batman, Batman Returns, Batman and
Who was
Robin.
the Batman then?
Well, you had Michael Keaton, and then you had Val Kilmer as Batman, and then you had George Clooney, your man, Nikki.
Oh, what a
George
lineup.
Clooney, right? So the Val Kilmer and George Clooney ones are, depending on who you talk to, pretty much considered to be bad.
The worst.
The worst. Joel Schumacher directed them. They're a train wreck. And so,
but back then, did they know they were a train wreck? Or
well,
is
Batman and Robin, yes, but Batman Forever, I think, did well. But I don't know. We'd have to look it up.
Sometimes you don't know it's a train wreck until you look back and you know better.
Right. And so all of that being said, I got excited because they were like, hey, Batman sale. Because I thought, you know what? I would pick up the original Batman. Like, it's a restoration and all the stuff they've done. That I'd buy that 4K. No. Batman and Robin was on sale, but the Batman movie,
the only good one,
the good one, full price.
Of course,
I know.
You know better than that.
I know, but
they need
still.
to make. That's where they can actually make some money. They need to just get rid of the other stuff.
I hear you. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So Scott said that Fortnite created Gotham in game and had Batman skin packs, which I did see about that.
I forgot about that. I didn't watch anybody stream it, but I saw some pics and stuff of that, and that. It looks nice.
Very good.
A little Batman theme pack there going on, but I don't know if that's over, or if it's still happening or not. Didn't get into Fortnite this morning before the show, so I'll have
That's your problem,
go and
right?
look about it. So, Nikki, what did you do for Batman Day?
I told you I didn't even see one thing about it.
No. See, that's what other people did.
No.
I'm talking about what did you personally do for Batman Day?
Nothing. I didn't do anything. I didn't buy any movies. I didn't watch any Batman stuff. I did nothing. Is that the best Batman Day ever? I didn't read any comics, didn't watch any movies, no Gotham, no nothing. What?
What are you doing?
What did you think I would do?
I don't know. Candlelight visual? Wear your costume?
My costume. I'll save that for later.
I mean, like there's a lot of, we all celebrate Batman Day in our own way, but I feel like not celebrating is, oh my gosh, that was your secret identity.
Really?
By not celebrating Batman Day, you were actually just celebrating, as a secret identity as someone who doesn't care. But your real identity, of course, is someone who cares a great deal.
I would have needed to be reminded that Batman Day was on Saturday because, like I said, I didn't even notice anything.
Did you see Shrew? That text message a few years ago, I made a 7-layer bat dip.
Ooh, that. Now, remember when I was younger, I got sick on a bean dip that was many layers?
Nikki hasn't been able to do the dip since
I had
then.
Sugar cookies before it. I just can't do any of that ever. Still, it's right there, like it just back here.
Hey, well,
Woo!
in fairness, when you say bean dip and sugar cookies, I start feeling a little sick.
I was a kid, and I had, I think, more sugar cookies than I had bean dip, and that whole night, all 7 layers. Came back to really haunt me.
Oh my!
So I can't do that for any holiday. It's like I don't even want the picture anymore.
Come on.
Thanks for sharing, though.
All right. Well, let's not talk about Batman Day anymore, Nikki. Your indifference is too painful for me.
Well, I want to say to Corey, he's in Columbus. He said, "Happy late birthday, Obi." He's been a listener and constantly makes his mornings. He decided to put up his Godzilla posters. Because he remembers you talking about your Godzilla posters. So sounds like he had quite a weekend.
You know what? If you walked into my basement at home, my bat cave, as it were, the first thing you would see going down the stairs.
It's not Batman.
It's a Space Godzilla poster. It's awesome. It really is awesome.
Make a 7-layer dip for that.
Come on. Not including any dairy products, of course.
Oh, yeah, because Obi's now dairy-free.
Lactose intolerant. It's not the same as being dairy-free, Nikki.
It's one's a choice and one you can't help yourself.
That's exactly right.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Oh, man. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Sam texted in, which you can text to 8772 Radio U.
Anytime, anything you want.
He says, hey, I know this is off topic, but have you played Borderlands 3 yet? And is it worth getting?
I think everyone asks you that every day.
I've been getting that question a lot.
Since Borderlands 3 came out, he gets asked that every day, many times.
Nikki bought Borderlands 3 for me for my birthday.
Sam,
Thank you,
took care of it.
Nikki and Eric. And yes, I played a ton of it over the weekend. My character hit level 15 last night. Now, I do realize that when I say a ton of it, my ton might not be your ton. You might,
or it might be more. It might actually be a ton.
I don't know.
Depends on how many hours you're clocking in.
I talk to a lot of people. They're like, oh, that's all? Like, that's it?
Well, you just got it. You just started. You had your birthday, so you had other stuff.
Come on. So, yes, I have played it, have really enjoyed it. I think the gunplay is more fun. I think the vehicle stuff is more fun. I think it looks really good. I have found the writing to be hit or miss. There have been moments that I thought were hilarious. There are all these like bandits and robots and all this different stuff that you shoot at. And
they all have something to say.
Yeah, some of them have been really funny. This one guy's like, my chili recipe dies with me. I was just...
You were not expecting that.
It caught me so off guard that I thought that was hilarious. My chili recipe dies with me.
So last week he played Borderlands 2 to get ready for 3, which, like you mentioned, he played over the weekend. So if you want to watch that, that's up at Radio U Riot on Facebook or Radio U Riot on our YouTube channel. And then maybe tomorrow you mentioned you'll do a Riot or an Obadiah Plays.
That's the plan.
For Borderlands 3, so you can watch him stream and play.
The only thing I will say is that if you haven't played Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3 is $50-$60. Borderlands 2 is like 10 or 15.
Is there much difference? I mean, you're missing the chili joke, but we told that to
the
you.
graphics do look a lot better.
Sure.
Well, maybe not a lot better, but they look better. But I will have to say, Borderlands 2 and 3, very similar.
Well, 2 could tide you over until 3 goes down
cheap.
Lower, so that's an option.
It really could. But, I mean, that being said, I have enjoyed it. Like I said, writing is hit or miss. Some of it has been funny. Some of it has been like, just like, what's the word I want?
Cringy?
Yes. Cringy. You're just like, oh, gosh.
Well, Sam says thank you.
Not only is that not funny, but
it's pretty bad. So Joel texted, good morning. With Black Friday around the corner, I have my eyes on getting a sound bar for the cinema experience at home. The CEAH, the cinema experience at home.
It is.
What brand or model would anyone suggest?
Oh, man, I have no idea.
Anybody?
I'd have to dig into that a little bit. I bought a sound bar like 3 or 4 years ago that's a Samsung, but I just bought it. It was open box. It was whatever. I didn't put too much work into it. I was like, it's good enough kind of thing. So I just I'd have to do some research on that.
Well, if anyone has one that they really like, send us the info and we'll pass it along to Joel.
Yeah. Welcome to Tradio. You got something to trade? You call us and we'll put you in touch with someone.
I think he just wants the info on it. I don't think we're starting to trade things, though there could be something to that.
He's got a kayak. Anybody got a sound bar?
The one time someone offered me something when I was trying to sell it, it wasn't even a kayak, it was just a canoe. Like, it wasn't even cool.
All right, well, I got a canoe for a kayak.
Unless you like canoes, then boy, that was cool.
What a cool trade.
Yeah!
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So Nikki and I were talking about our upcoming, and it is a few weeks away. It's not like next week or anything, but we are planning a Riot game night. Or is that Riot Live event?
Well, we're doing a Riot Live event for Halloween.
We are,
and we're playing a game during it. In fact, I bought my Halloween costume yesterday.
Did you really?
I did.
Well, look at you.
I wanted to be prepared. I wanted to make sure I wanted to have something.
Okay.
I hope I go with it. But
wait, what? You bought a costume and you're not sure?
I might return it if I don't like it.
What did you get?
I got a bee costume.
Don't be embarrassed.
Because we're going to play the bee simulator game. I wanted to be a bee.
Come on.
But I was wondering maybe we should switch games, or until then, there's another game you should maybe do for a Obadiah Plays.
Yeah.
Now, it's a bit out of your Borderlands scope.
Yeah.
But the Untitled Goose Game came out on Friday.
It did.
Came out last week.
So?
It's all the rage. Everybody's playing it.
Is it?
Absolutely. Do you know the views we could get if we play this one?
I feel like this is the one.
But I feel like we need to do it sooner than the end of October.
Don't want to wait that long.
This Untitled Goose Game is exactly what it sounds like. You're a goose and you're playing this game where you're walking around stealing items. It's a very indie sort of feel. Very It felt like Mr. Rogers, like the music that goes with it. Just
feels like Mr. Rogers.
Very much like that. And you're just this goose that walks around stealing items that people, have. And that's it.
Okay, so how much am I expected to pay for Untitled Goose Game?
Well, you can't put a price on fun. So I actually don't know.
I'm sure
It can't be full game price. It must be like in the $40, maybe $30.
40.
I don't know. Look it up. I'm not sure.
Let's see.
And I was looking at it on the Switch, which is always more expensive.
Goose Game price.
Maybe it'll be like 20.
All right. The game about the bad goose will be discounted from
Why
19
are you saying bad
to 4. That's their.
It's not a bad goose.
That is their wording, not my wording.
So what is the price?
Looks like it's $14.99.
Oh my gosh!
At least for now.
Whoa! What am I doing when I get home? I'm playing that.
Why don't you? You know what you should do, Nikki?
What?
You should stream it.
Well, I don't know how to do that. I mean, I probably could figure it out, but they wanted to see us play the Goose Game together. Mm-hmm. So why don't we do that maybe sometime this week?
It's, what's funny is on the PC, it is exclusive to the Epic Games Store.
Yeah.
That's like a whole thing.
So Mike just texted, have we ever played the Colonel Sanders game yet? Is that out on Steam or is it this week or next week?
Wait, that's not out. I don't think that's out yet, is it?
I think it's next week.
Okay, wait. Let's see.
Colonel Sanders through KFC. I think it's basically an anime game. It's like a dating simulator sort of thing where you want to go out because Colonel Sanders is like hot in the game.
Yeah. It's out tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Oh my gosh! How can I possibly stream Borderlands when this is out tomorrow?
You're not streaming Borderlands. You're streaming that game.
We have to stream I Love You, Colonel Sanders.
You need to. Look at all the fun stuff we have. Look at all the good games. Yeah, you got Borderlands 3, but you got the Untitled Goose Game. You got the Colonel Sanders Love Game.
Oh, shoot.
Got a lot of good stuff, don't you?
It's
game time.
Come on, Untitled Goose Game.
So if anybody played the Goose Game over the weekend, let me know because I think I want to play that.
That looks like you.
For $14, absolutely.
What a savings.
That's just an afternoon of fun, isn't it?
What else are you looking for?
I have nothing else.
I gave during the last fundraiser, and all I got was this crappy morning show. This is The Riot on listener-supported Radio U.
That's Nikki. I'm Obadiah.
Good morning.
She's not screwing around about the Untitled Goose Game.
No, I'm playing it today. I got to get a new dock for my Switch, but we're good.
What did you do to yours?
I didn't do anything to it. I have two. Before you're like excessive. I mean, there's two TVs, so different levels.
Okay.
Just in case, because it's not me using it too much.
I just want you to know, Nikki, that I did think it was excessive, but I didn't want to say anything.
Why is that excessive? When you're on two different levels and
new level, new devil, Nikki.
Do you want to carry all that stuff? No.
How often are you dropping the Switch in to play?
I'm not even doing it. It's Eric. He's playing that Marvel one.
How often is he moving from TV to TV?
Hardly ever. But that's how we found out that the first dock must be bad, because we went to the second dock and it worked fine.
I just want you to know that anytime that you or I speak up about anything we're doing at home.
I hate it. I don't want people to know. I don't want people to know.
I feel like we sound like the most absurd.
Materialistic. I'm doing nothing but gaming and watching TV, and it's not like that. It's not like that at all, but why wouldn't you have two Switch docks?
I had to get a second dock for it, because you know what? Carrying that first one upstairs.
It's practical. It is practical if you want to use what you spent a lot of money on. And I would say normally, be like, no, I don't want to play because I'm not getting it. I don't want to move the dock.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I got absolute zero room to talk.
I know.
Zero room. Like, if you.
Now I got to get a new one, though.
No, I won't tell you. Sure, I will. I almost bought another.
This is a safe space.
I almost bought another Xbox to have upstairs.
Why? It makes sense.
Stupid. That's why. Look at the dummy. Look at him.
Spending money.
Look at that dummy.
You're not proud of it. I mean, we're just trying to live each day, all right? We're just doing each day.
I straight up need an intervention. I need somebody to come in and be like, son, you are wasting your life.
Stop doing that.
Now, get on that grind. Read a book. Get another job.
No, I want to play the Switch game.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, I need to buy a new dock.
And if I'm going to go, I want to play it downstairs, but then I want to play it upstairs.
If I want to, I want to have the freedom to be able to.
So, and I love the fact that, I mean, keeping in mind that it has its own screen, so I can play anywhere.
Well, that's different. I mean, that's not. I want to play the Untitled Goose Game on the big TV.
You know, but you wouldn't watch a movie there.
No,
for that, you're going to need
watch my phone.
That's
what are you
phone is
doing?
for.
Oh, but you know how it goes. Come on.
I'm just thinking it through because it's just the idea of like, okay, I want a huge TV to play the Goose Game on, but I'm not watching a movie on that. I want a small screen for that. That's what my phone is for.
Well, no, I need a smaller but still the biggest phone screen that I can get.
Then I've got to do work. Now, that's a medium screen.
That's on your laptop, of course.
Okay, that's that. And then sometimes I like to work from the bath. That's what the tablet's for.
Of course. I mean, that way if it goes in, it's not so expensive. It's all right. Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Well, I really do need to go look for a new dock, so I will do that during this song.
You really should, Nikki. You know, why don't you might consider a backup one just in case that one fails.
Yeah, so I don't find myself, in trouble.
Yeah.
No, I'll look for something.
Okay. Well, search on.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Are you coming to my birthday lunch?
Yes, I am.
You are?
Yes, we're doing barbecue today.
Yeah, it's not going to be one of those things where you...
I duck out later or something.
Conveniently, a phone rings.
I'm like, I can't, I'll just wave you on.
I have to go.
And then I never show up.
I have to go right now.
I'm coming to your birthday lunch today.
Okay, that's good. Is Eric?
He's coming to your birthday lunch today.
Okay. That's all I got.
Is my doggies?
Are your dogs coming?
No, they're not coming.
Cinnamon Sugar?
They're not coming.
How is Cinnamon Sugar Pop-Tarts doing on Instagram these days?
They're good. They're almost to 200 followers. We have an empire. An empire.
So have the offers started rolling in?
For like food and toys and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, maybe what they need is we can turn today into an event.
Yeah.
Like Cinnamon Sugar Pop-Tarts go to the barbecue.
Go to the barbecue place for Obi's birthday.
Mm-hmm. And we could set them on the tables and they've got little bibs on. And then we rub some barbecue on their faces so it looks like they've been eating.
I guess I'm worried because, they're on Instagram.
Yes.
And Pup Tarts is the name that's in there. But at this point, they're 4 months old. And so they're not like as small as puppies are.
Yeah.
Especially my one. They're Golden Pyrenees. And Sugar's a bit bigger than Cinnamon. No shame. No shame whatsoever.
It feels like you're shaming.
No, but everybody notices that and everybody says something about it. So we don't want her to feel she's not fat. She's just a puppy.
She's just big boned.
She's just big. She's 45 pounds and she'll get to probably over 100. And then Cinnamon is 25 pounds.
Oh.
So there's a bit of a... they're sisters, so they're not the same. They should
competing.
Be the same, but, one is obviously bigger.
So one is that one sister and one is the one that everybody likes.
Well, the ones they're like, oh, you're so cute and fuzzy. And then they're like, oh, my gosh, why is she so much bigger to Sugar? So
that's awful.
I'm not sure since they're not looking like puppies as much anymore.
So what do you feel like?
Do I need a name change or something? I'm not sure.
No, I think the thing you do now is you just take them and put them between the doors at the Humane Society, and then you go get...
No! How could you say that? So I was wondering where you were going with that. No!
And then you just get 2 new puppies.
No, that hurts so much.
Don't you just put them between the doors?
That's not what you do, and you're not supposed to do that. No, he's just smirking over there laughing. Just ignore him. He knows better than that. He's just teasing.
That's what I always do.
You got to keep with the brand, though. Get something younger, right?
Listen, Nikki, I can't be seen with these such a
4-month-olds,
full-bodied dog
they're
around
not puppies
town
anymore.
Yeah,
but they're still puppies for such a long time. But they're not. They're size-wise, they're growing out of that.
You call them puppies, but not for me.
Gotta get something else.
Yeah, it's time. It's time for me to move on. And
ouch, just ouch. Okay.
Boy, I feel like a lot of people want to come to my birthday lunch now.
I know. Suddenly I am busy.
Oh, you need to do that drop-off before lunch?
Oh, what's wrong?
I'm a bad person.
With you?
Come celebrate.
This was the worst of the Riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The Riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
So this doesn't affect you at all. That's right.